So first, what happens when we're in fear? This is your brain on fear. We used to have in the 80s, this is your brain on drugs. And the guy would crack the egg into the pan and the egg is frying. Well, this is your brain on fear. What happens in the brain, it's different areas of the brain that process higher awareness, inspiration, possibility. Oh yeah, I could do this. Or registering awareness of, oh, what's the best way for me to move forward? Or what will contribute the most to my health and wealth and wholeness right now? And letting that kind of information in. When we're in fear, all of that gets turned off. We literally shunt blood from the frontal lobe, where a lot of that is processed, and we shut this area of the brain down. We shunt it to the back part of the brain, kind of the reptilian brain, which is a lot of our automatic behaviors, automatic programs, automatic processing that, guess where that got instilled? Fight or flight programming. So we're not really thinking, we're more so reacting. So someone says something and you're triggered and you go into fight or flight, defend, I've got to fight, or defend, I've got to fight this. Whether it's in a conversation or something happens you hear on the news, your body responds. And it not only changes what you see and what you perceive and what you think is real because of that processing in the brain, it changes all of the autonomic functioning in your nervous system throughout your body. This sends direct communication to shut down digestion, because when you're running from the tiger, you're not digesting that last meal. You're like, boom, we got to fuel the working muscles and we got to run. It shuts down a lot of the kind of housekeeping for your endocrine system to build cells, get rid of waste products, increase your health and vitality. And it also shuts down your immune system, because you're in imminent danger. You're running from the tiger. You just got to get to the tree and climb it. You do not need to worry about fighting off the internal bacteria, viruses, etc. It's a different state. We are not meant to reside in the state for more than just a few minutes. And most people, myself included, even having been in the emergency room as a doctor, do not face actual threat many times in our lives at all, and certainly not on a daily basis. So what's happening that's triggering the brain into this fight or flight pattern that creates so much limitation if we're not actually threatened. And this is one tool that I like to look at, if you're gonna kind of play with this a little, real versus perceived threat. So bring your awareness to your body and breathe. And when you feel you're triggered, something just happened, someone just said something, I just remembered something that disturbed me, and you feel that your body go into tension. Or maybe you're not even feeling that, but you're walking around and you're like, let me check in. And you realize, whoa, my body's in fight or flight right now. My body's freaking out. So awareness, that's the first piece. You just look, real versus perceived threat. Now your mind's going to tell you, this is a real threat. I just lost my job. This is a real threat. She just said this to me. This is a real threat. My kid's not listening, right? They could run off the thing and something bad happen. But especially with parenting, it's so important to keep this in check. Because, for example, you say your kid is running, oh my gosh, I have a 2-year-old and he does these things and you're like, ah, but if I'm still there, he's there, I can grab him. Like, I did not actually have to react and freak out. Real versus perceived threat. Well, he's not listening to me, so he can run away and get in trouble. Yes, but in this 10 seconds, is there actually a real threat? No. Can I sit him down and presence him and let him know, like, hey, look, here's what we got to do here. Instead of going into reaction, no, it's not okay. But this is what we so often do. Or, I just lost my job. Oh my God, clearly I have to get in fight or flight. It's not okay. Back off for 10 seconds and look. What's actually happening right now in this 10 seconds? Okay, I'm breathing. Maybe there's a lot of stuff I think about the future that might go badly. But in this 10 seconds, this is where you've got to check into your body. I'm breathing. I can relax my shoulders. I can let a full few breaths just come and be here, just in this moment. Do not go and project onto, but about the future. Do not go and project onto, but this could happen here. I've got to control this, like here, now. Okay. And you breathe. And the reason you do this is, yes, it turns off that super toxic physiology of stress chemicals and cortisol and inflammation and all of the universe of that. But even more essentially, it accesses me to what's possible now. What actually could I choose or do that could allow a different outcome? Because when I go into the reactive pattern of, I gotta control, it's not okay, immediately going into that fear creates a negative, unwanted outcome. First in your physical body, also in your brain, in your perception, in your actions and behaviors, and the way you see the world, and then in what you are creating.